as sports fans, we're like, man, I just want a winning season. But if your team went 1-16 the year before and you change nothing, what do you think is going to happen the following year?
Have you ever actually been able to grow without some sort of change happening? Our guest Robert had a little bit to say about this back in episodes 15 and 16 of Cleats Off the Couch, where we were able to take conversation off the couch and into life. I appreciate you watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more like it in the future. Get back to the video.
If people are like, okay, show me the physical ways that your faith has done things or been there for, I could name those things.
Mm.
I could tell, I could detail how I make less money than I did in the military, but have more money at the same time. I can detail financial blessings that come out of nowhere, health situations that God has taken control of, and miraculous things have happened. They want to, if people, okay, I'll give you your shot. What do you have to say? I can detail all that for you. I think some people who aren't followers of Christ are not so because of the physical things that they're struggling with right now. And so it's hard to see Christ when you don't know where your next meal is going to be, if there's going to be a next meal, or they're living out of their car and winter's coming, or they have this big medical situation coming up and they don't know what to do, or someone who they love and care for is really sick at a young age. And they're like, I don't know what to do in those situations. Well, that's because right now you have no hope in anything. And so it's going to be difficult to put your hope into something you can't see when all that you can see is hurt. That's why part of being a Christ follower is helping people in the ways that God has called you to, or your church or your community, with the physical, to break that physical barrier down so they can see the spiritual.
And we see the example there from Jesus, because if we claim to follow Christ, then we should look at what Christ said and did, right? If you claim to be a follower of somebody, you should probably look at what they said and did so you can follow their example. And so his example was he would meet the most needy and most sinful people where they were and help to provide for them so that they would so that what was directly in front of their, the blinders on a horse, right? What was directly in front of them would be provided for. And it's not to say that it means that does not mean that God will always, he will give you money, he will give you health, anything like that. But it's not discounting the ability that he has to be able to do those things if that's what he wants to do or needs to do. Now,
And
our understanding of need versus his need is sometimes different, but sometimes that is what is needed. And I think of Thomas, and he showed the physical look in my hand, see the holes. And he even says there that those who believe without seeing, man, greater are those who believe without seeing. And so that's the hope is for people to be able to come to understand and realize who Christ is without having to see. But it doesn't mean that God will not allow them to see. It doesn't
yeah,
mean that he'll make ways available through miracles or even through, but that shouldn't be just what we seek through, because sometimes we have enough in front of us that, some of the religious people in the Bible write about just like, well, prove it to us, show us a sign that we'll believe. And he's just like, bro, I've given you enough. If you've been paying attention and you've actually been listening and watching, then you would see and know. But doing a miracle for you on demand is not going to help you to actually believe. You just don't believe.
and it's funny because as sports fans, we're like, man, I just want a winning season. But if your team went 1-16 the year before and you change nothing, what do you think is going to happen the following year? Are you hoping in that all the other teams just got worse?
Yeah.
And so you say, oh man, I wanted this. Maybe it's budgeting, and you're like, oh man, I don't know what you're talking about. I can't. Like, God hasn't met my. I'm always out of money. Well, let's look at that. It's not because God. You make plenty of money. You just don't know how to use it effectively, or yeah, you don't know where your next meal's from because you never took the time to learn to cook. You've been eating McDonald's for 6 years straight. I don't even know how you're alive right now. We understand that growth almost always comes from change. And so if we want to grow in any area of our life, we have to make that choice that a change has to be made. And, so we look at Carolina this year and a lot of changes since the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Coach changes, key player changes, and changes this morning. 2 more coaches let go this morning. Why are they doing these changes? Well, they're 2-6. If they want to improve that at all, something's got to change. They changed the head coach, and then we won the following week. And then we lost the next 2. Okay, so whatever, that change helped a little bit. We changed the quarterback. Oh, man, we won. Great. So we had a head coach change. We changed the quarterback. Things are looking up. Well, then we lost the next 2. Okay, so that wasn't enough change. Okay, let's swap the quarterback out again. Let's move this guy over here. Oh, we had an injury here. These 2 coaches aren't doing what we thought they would be doing. Choices for growth often require change because you're never going to get where you've never been doing what you've always done.
If you're interested in the full episodes, be sure to click this playlist up here or add Cleats Off the Couch to your favorite podcast listening platform. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. This is just one of many moments where we got to take conversation from the couch into life. And until the next one, keep your cleats off the couch.